Well, folks, week three has come and gone in the NFL season. Can you believe we're already on to week four, folks? I certainly cannot. It's the Terranadome solo show this week. Josh Morris is back on the show next week. I know he's very popular with you guys in the comments, but we are here to talk about all 16 games of week three. We certainly had a couple of upsets and a couple of thrillers as well. A lot of block kicks this week, folks. You don't want to miss it, so stay tuned. It's the Terranadome, and it starts right now. Toronto. Minnesota was doomed from the start. I mean, this was a ass whooping. There's nothing short of that. It was a complete ass whooping. But I will tell you what, my friend, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. And it is time to get them back in the AFC Championship game. I believe that, listen, you're right about Derrick Henry, especially in cold weather. No one's going to want to tackle that guy. So it's going to be imperative for the Buffalo Bills to jump out early in this game and get a lead and force Lamar Jackson to have to play from behind. They can do that. They're going to win this game. Mention things that we love to hear, like we're getting the entitlement out of our team, and we're going to earn the opportunity to come into this building every day. I absolutely love that. One thing I will say for sure, yes, they definitely need to go and spend some friggin' money. They're going to have the most cap space in the league, and I'm going to kill them every week on this show until they spend money.
Known as fair square throughout my years, so I growl at the living foul. Black to the bone, my home is your home.
Well, welcome to Terranadome. Terranadome, and it starts right now. And welcome back into the show, folks. Of course, it is me, Scotty T. It's the Terranadome. I got a big dome. My last name's Terrana. Put it together. It's called the Terranadome. Week three in the NFL's come and gone, folks. It is going to be a rapid fire rundown, folks. A rapid fire rundown. The rapid fire rundown only happens on the solo shows because there's no back and forth. It's just me. You don't get to deal with you don't get to deal with Josh this week. I know you all love him, but I can't have him on every single week because then it's not my show. It's our show, and that's me being a little selfish and a teeny bit egotistical. But Josh gets it. He understands. And by the way, when the playoffs roll around, Josh will be here each and every single week of the playoffs. That is my guy right there, ladies and gentlemen. He and I go back about a lot of time in between, but I'd say over 25 years, which is pretty damn impressive when you consider he's 36, I'm 35. Anyway, folks, this is a New England space. This is a New England-based show, as you well know, and we have got to talk a little bit about the home team because it's root for the home team. But last Sunday, the home team kind of put up a dud, and I shouldn't say a dud, but in the end, a loss is a loss. And let's get to it, folks. We are going to start NFL Week 3 rapid fire rundown with the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the New England Patriots. Both teams came into this game at 1-1. I told you last week in my predictions segment. In fact, Josh did as well. We both picked the Patriots in this game, folks. And to be honest with you, they should have won this game pretty handily. Instead, Pittsburgh 21, New England 14. And you know why? Because it's pretty obvious that you almost make it impossible to win turning the ball over five turnovers, folks. It's been 17 years since the Patriots turned the ball over 5 times in a game. The last time, ironically enough, was against the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2008. And by the way, that was a rain game. It was about 38 degrees, and it was pouring rain the entire damn game. How do I know that? Because I was in the stands for that damn game. That's the last time they turned it over 5 times in a game. And yet they still had a chance to tie the game with under a minute to go in this one, folks. Steelers got out to a 14-0 lead, thanks largely in part to Ramondre Stevenson's first 2 fumbles in this game. That put them up 7-0 as they recovered the ball around midfield and proceeded to score on a 9-play drive that ended in a Kenneth Gainwell 1-yard touchdown run. Pittsburgh ran it 7 times out of the 9 plays. Patriots, they would answer Pittsburgh's second touchdown with a 10-play, 77-yard drive that resulted in a 5-yard touchdown pass from Drake May to Hunter Henry. Patriots trailed 14-7 when they got the ball on their own 6 with 7:20 to play in the half. They proceeded to drive the entire field down to the 2-yard line with all 3 timeouts. 22 seconds left. They're on the 2-yard line, looking at a touchdown. All 3 timeouts. And Josh McDaniels calls 3 pass plays in a row. The third one is a tip ball at the line, and it's intercepted in the end zone. So Rodgers takes a knee. Drake May throws a batted ball interception. Opportunity wasted. Should be a tie game, but instead Pittsburgh leads at the half 14-7. Pittsburgh opens up a second half with Aaron Rodgers picked off at his own 48 by Robert Spillane, the new captain, the new free agent, signing over from the Raiders. And Spillane returns at 37 yards. The Patriots have a golden opportunity handed to them at the beginning of the half as they start to drive at the 11-yard line. First play is a 9-yard pass to Henry. The second play, Ramondre Stevenson fumbles again on the goal line. Now it should be 21-14 Patriots. Instead, it still remains Pittsburgh 14-7. Pass defense would force a 3-and-out on the next possession, thanks largely in part to a holding call on Pittsburgh center. Marcus Jones returns the punt out to the New England 46-yard line. Really good field position for the Patriots. And wouldn't you know it, Mike Vrabel finally benched Ramondre Stevenson after that second fumble. So it's Antonio Gibson, not Travion Henderson, the kid you picked 38th overall in the draft. And wouldn't you know it, Gibson coughs it up too. We're already at 3 turnovers, folks. We're already at 4 turnovers for the Pats at this point, folks. And they're still very much somehow alive in this game. Patriots force another 3-and-out. The defense played really well in this game, and you wasted it. The Pittsburgh Steelers had 1 yard of total offense in the third quarter. 1 yard! And what did you do with it? This time, the Patriots managed to hold onto the ball, though. It's a 15-play, 88-yard drive, resulting in Hunter Henry's second touchdown catch of the day as he ran uncovered up the left hash. 16-yard touchdown for May to Henry. This team is tied 14-14. Henderson was stopped. Travion Henderson did eventually get into this game and had the most carries on the team. He was stopped on a 4th and 1-yard run earlier in the drive, but a legitimate hands to the face penalty on a Pittsburgh D lineman kept the drive alive. This touchdown was the first play of the fourth quarter. It's tied 14-14. After forcing yet another punt, the defense played really well in this game, folks. After forcing yet another punt, the Pats get it back with 12:28 to go on their own 18-yard line. 8 plays later, and it's May trying to do too much, something he did not do last week in Miami that I lauded him for at the time, but this time he tries to do too much, holds onto the ball for way too long. It gets knocked out of his hands. It's a fumble. It's recovered by the Steelers, and 5 turnovers for the Patriots, and somehow this game is still tied, folks. But let's not forget, the Pittsburgh Steelers have Aaron Rodgers, and he's certainly not prime Aaron Rodgers anymore, but he's still a Hall of Fame quarterback. He was able to lead the Steelers down the field, hitting Calvin Austin for a gorgeous 17-yard touchdown strike to go ahead. The 9-play drive ran the clock down to the 2:16, but the Patriots would get it back with 2 timeouts still in hand, down 21-14. Drake May did play well in this game despite the 2 turnovers. I will tell you that, folks. He consistently kept the chains moving. He did play well. He brings them up the field. He goes 5 for 4 for 34 yards, scrambling for 15 more on one play. He gets them to a 4th and 1 after Pittsburgh calls a timeout with 1:07 to play. It's a shotgun snap. Demario Douglas is in the slot. He runs a tiny little out route and stops. May hits him. All Douglas had to do was fall forward to keep the drive alive. Instead, he sees a defender closing fast and runs backwards and tries to go around. It doesn't work. It's a 1-yard loss. Turnover on downs. 6th time the Patriots have given the ball back to the Steelers with a turnover. Pittsburgh wins it 21-14. No excuse for that kind of loss, Pats fans. Plenty of things to be pissed about this week. Total yards, Patriots 369. They held the Steelers to 203 yards in this game, and you freaking lost. That's embarrassing. Drake May, 28 out of 37, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He was sacked 5 times. The interception that he threw on the goal line did come 2 plays after he bounced his head off the turf, the back of his head, and he grabbed his helmet in what appeared to be some level of pain, but he got up quick enough, and he alluded to this after the game. He got up quick enough so that they didn't evaluate him. Hunter Henry had a great game, 8 catches for 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Only one other pass catcher had more than 28 yards receiving for New England. Aaron Rodgers, 16 out of 23, just 139 yards. 2 touchdowns and a pick. They did not sack Rodgers in this game. The Steelers running backs carried it 22 times for only 63 yards. They did not even average 3 a carry on the ground. DK Metcalf, 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. Patriots snatch a defeat from the jaws of victory. Next up, they have the Carolina Panthers at home, 1 o'clock on Sunday, while Pittsburgh will travel to Ireland, Dublin, Ireland, to take on the Minnesota Vikings. That game will be at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time here on the East Coast on Sunday. Cool. We get football literally all day on Sunday. Don't want to spend a lot of time analyzing this one, folks. Drake May was really good in this game. And the play calling was not so good in this game. The bottom line is you're not going to win a game in this league if you turn the ball over 5 times. It is just not going to happen. I expect them to clean this up. They also had a crap ton more penalties in this game. Not impressed with the team this week, but they have a chance to get right, although that, granted, is against the Carolina team that just blew out the Falcons 30-0. We will get to that game, albeit briefly, in just a little while. Let's go back to Thursday Night Football. We had the Buffalo Bills hosting the Miami Dolphins, 2-0 versus 0-2. Buffalo was favored by 13.5 points at kickoff. Miami did a good job hanging with them until the fourth quarter. A Tua TD to Tyreek Hill from 5 yards out tied the game at 21-21 with 12:17 to go. Buffalo would then answer with a 10-play, 65-yard drive ending in a 15-yard touchdown pass to Josh Allen, or from Josh Allen to Khalil Shakir, 28-21 with 7:17 to go. Next Dolphins possession, Tua drives the Dolphins down to the Buffalo 21-yard line, but Miami dialed up one too many short screen passes in this game. The 9th play of the drive resulted in an interception and iced the game for Buffalo. They would burn most of the remaining 3:06, and a 48-yard field goal puts the game away with 27 seconds left. Buffalo 3-0, but certainly not easy. 31-21 final in this one. Reigning MVP Josh Allen, 22 out of 28, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns, 25 rushing yards, sacked 3 times. James Cook is a stud running back, 19 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir, and Jackson Hawes with the touchdown catches for Buffalo. On the other side, Tua Tagovailoa, 22 completions for only 146 yards in this game. 2 touchdowns and an interception. He was not sacked. Devin Achane, who I'm convinced they're going to get killed by midseason, the way they throw him the ball. 12 carries for 62 yards, 7 catches for 29. Ollie Gordon poached 9 carries from Achane for 38 yards and a 9-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Tyreek Hill, 5 catches for 49 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 5 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown. Oh, God. Stop interrupting my momentum. Stupid. Does anybody want 2 cats? Seriously. I'll put them in a box and ship them to you, for God's sake. Next up for Buffalo. They face the 0-3 hapless New Orleans Saints Sunday at 1 o'clock, while Miami will face the New York Jets in a battle of 0-3 supremacy on Monday Night Football. Nice job, schedulers, on that one. 7:15 p.m. on Monday night. Thankfully, there's another Monday night game. We don't really have to watch that one. But let's go back to Sunday, first of all. It gets worse. The Green Bay Packers, they go to Cleveland in a game where they're only favored by 8.5, and you think, they're a lot better than Cleveland. They should be favored by more than like 7.5, 8.5, right? Well, apparently not, because the Cleveland Browns shocked the Green Bay Packers. They win this one 13-10. The first half featured only a Green Bay field goal. Packers went up 10-0 on a 3-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Love to backup tight end John Fitzpatrick with 3:23 left in the third. It would remain 10-0 until under 4 minutes to go in regulation. Cleveland gets a 30-yard A 35-yard field goal. I can read my notes to pull it to 10-3 with 3:38 to go. Ensuing Packers possession, and Jordan Love, as he's been prone to do in his career, gets picked off at his own 29-yard line. It's returned down to the Cleveland 4. The Packers could have run the ball and forced Cleveland to take their final timeout, but they chose not to. 2 plays later, it's Cleveland's second-round rookie Quinshawn Judkins finding pay dirt from a yard out. 10-10 ball game with 3:01 to go. We will not talk about how much of a scumbag Quinshawn Judkins is right now. Just wanted to mention that in passing. Scumbag. But anyway, here we go. Green Bay manages to drive it from their own 40 down to the Cleveland 25. They eat 2:34 of clock, and a Brandon McManus field goal makes it unbelievable. Only when I'm trying to record the damn podcast. Like, seriously, like, can I just wring both of their necks right now? I know Pete is not listening to this thing. Okay, where the hell was I? There we go. Right. Okay. Green Bay, 10-10 game, 3:01 to go. Green Bay manages to drive it from their own 40-yard line down to the Cleveland 25. They eat 2 minutes and 34 seconds of clock. And Brandon McManus' 43-yard field goal attempt is blocked with 27 seconds to go, and Cleveland runs it back to their own 47. Micah Parsons' neutral zone infraction gives the Browns 5 more yards. And Flacco manages to complete 2 of 3 passes to pick up 11 more yards. He spikes it on first down at the 37-yard line. 3 seconds remaining. The Packers try to ice young kicker Andre Schmidt. It's spelled S-Z-Y-N-T. Or I think it's SCMYT, but whatever. The 2023 undrafted free agent out of Syracuse has ice water in his veins. 55-yard field goal up and good. The stadium goes bonkers. Cleveland shocks everyone and beats the Packers 13-10 and knocks about 1 million MFs out of their survivor pool. On Sunday, Green Bay, 14 penalties in this game. Jordan Love, 18 out of 25, 183 yards, a touchdown, and interception. He was sacked 5 times. So when the people tell you that the Browns suck, they kind of do. But the Browns have both a great offensive line and a great defensive line. And that's not nothing in today's NFL or in any day's NFL. Jordan Love sacked 5 times in this game. He was only sacked twice in his previous 2 games to start the season. Josh Jacobs, 16 carries for 30 yards. Again, Cleveland strong defensively. 5 catches for 44 yards. Matthew Golden getting involved for the first time this season. The rookie first rounder out of Texas, 4 catches for 52 yards. They also gave him 3 carries for 9. Joe Flacco, 21 out of 36. My man is not looking so good so far, but that's okay. 142 yards, an interception, sacked twice. And Quinshawn Judkins, again, a girlfriend beater, hits a woman with a closed fist. I don't condone this man at all. But the NFL does. 18 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown for him. And David Njoku led the Browns with 5 catches and 40 yards receiving. Next up, it'll be Cleveland going to Detroit, Michigan to take on the Lions on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And the Green Bay Packers will go to Dallas to take on the sieve of a Cowboys defense on Sunday Night Football in Week 4. Okay, next up, we're going to do a couple crap bag games. We're going to do Atlanta at Carolina first. The battle of 0-2 teams. Atlanta, 0. Carolina, 30. Michael Penix Jr., fun fact, is now 0-4 in games where 0-4 in career starts where his opponent scores 7 points or more. That's pretty good. I bet Kirk Cousins, he's chopping at the bit right now. Atlanta has to start thinking about it because the roster is pretty good for the Falcons. You can't put up a goose egg against Carolina. Penix goes 18 out of 36 for 172 yards and 2 interceptions. His first interception was returned for a touchdown, and the second one led to a touchdown for the Panthers. Kirk Cousins did get into this game, by the way, folks. He went 5 out of 7 for 29 yards. Bijan Robinson, 13 carries for 72 yards. He added 5 catches for 39 more yards. Drake London Calling, 8 catches for 55 yards. And Kyle Pitts, 4 catches for 39. On the other side, Bryce Young, 16 out of 24, only 121 yards passing. No passing touchdowns, but did add in a rushing touchdown. Chuba Hubbard, 17 carries for 73. Rico Dowdle, 10 carries for 30 and a score. And Ted McMillan, 3 catches for 48 for Carolina. Next up, as we already mentioned, Carolina travels to New England this Sunday to take on the Patriots. That game at 1 o'clock. And Atlanta will host the Washington Commanders in a bad spot for them Sunday, 1 o'clock. Now, we will go to an AFC South battle. Again, this is Rapid Fire Rundown. It's the Terranadome. You can tell I got no sleep last night. Houston travels to Jacksonville in an AFC South battle. I told you before the season started that Jacksonville would win this division. I did not expect Danny Dimes to turn into Kurt Warner or whatever, and for the Colts to be this good at all. But Jacksonville still managed to shut up. Jacksonville still manages to beat Houston 17-10. All right, that's the second time I've had to throw something at them, and we're like 20 minutes in, so we're doing really good. Jacksonville 17, Houston 10. The Texans fall to 0-3. Jacksonville improves to 2-1. Houston now has the worst scoring offense in the league, despite having the fifth best scoring defense in the league. 10-3 Jacksonville leading into the fourth quarter. 9:33 to go, and Trevor Lawrence is picked off in midfield. Very next play, and it's C.J. Stroud with a deep shot down the left sideline. 50-yard touchdown strike to Nico Collins for the longest play of Houston's season so far. 10-10, 9:17 left in regulation. Jags possession next. They decide to go for it on 4th and 2 at midfield for some reason. Lawrence's pass falls incomplete. It's a turnover on downs. Next Texans drive. They're down to the Jacksonville 31 when C.J. Stroud completes a pass to Nico Collins for 10 yards. But Collins coughs it up, and it's recovered by Jacksonville. Stop putting the ball on the ground. NFL players. Last play before the 2-minute warning, and Lawrence finds Brian Thomas Jr. over the middle of the field. He takes off, galloping for 46 yards before finally being brought down. First play out of the 2-minute warning, it's Travis Etienne. He runs it in from 10 yards out. Next Texans possession, C.J. Stroud would throw his second pick of the game to seal it for Jacksonville. They win it 17-10. Trevor Lawrence, 20 out of 40 for 222 yards, an interception, sacked twice. Travis Etienne, 16 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. And Byshul Tootin stole 6 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown of his own. Thomas Jr., just 2 catches for 55. And Parker Washington, 4 catches for 34 yards on 11 targets for him. Lawrence seems to like him. C.J. Stroud on the other side, just 25 out of 38 for 204 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Nico Collins, 8 catches for 104 yards, a touchdown and a fumble lost, aforementioned. Next up, Jacksonville with a really tough assignment. They travel to San Francisco to face the 49ers. That game at 4:05 on Sunday. And meanwhile, Houston and Tennessee will play one of 2 battles of 2 0-3 teams this week. That will be at home Sunday at 1 o'clock. Speaking of Tennessee and speaking of Indianapolis, remember when people couldn't believe that head coach Shane Steichen chose Daniel Jones to start at quarterback over Anthony Richardson? I can remember that. This was never really a game here. Indy smokes Tennessee in this game, 41-20 to improve to 3-0. This was never really a game as Indy was up 17-3 after one quarter. The closest Tennessee would get was an early second quarter field goal to make it a 17-16 game. Tennessee has scored 51 points this season. Kicker Joey Sly has 30 of them. Colts led 20-6 at the half. They came out and scored in their opening possession of the third to basically put it away 27-6. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, 18 out of 25. Didn't have to do that much in this game. 18 out of 25, 228 yards. Passing touchdown and 27 rushing yards. Danny Dimes through 3 games is completing 71.6% of his passes, averaging 272 passing yards per game, leads the league at 9.3 yards per attempt, has not turned the ball over once. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, 17 attempts for 102 yards and 3 touchdowns. He leads the league with 60 carries and 338 yards through 3 weeks. Michael Pittman, 6 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. Alec Pierce, 4 catches for 67 yards. On the other side, Cam Ward, just 23 out of 38 for 219 yards. He had a touchdown and an interception. The growing pains continue for him. Tony Pollard, just 16 carries for 45 yards, not even 3 yards a tote. Did score a 1-yard touchdown. Elick Eomanor, 4 catches for 38 yards and a score. And Chig Okonkwo, 5 catches for 66 yards for the Titans in the loss. Next up, Indianapolis will go to the LA Rams Sunday at 4:05, and Tennessee will be at Houston, as we just mentioned, in the battle of 0-3, lack of supremacy. That game, 1 o'clock on Sunday. So, boy, rapid fire rundown continues, folks. We are flying through these this week. Next up, we have got something I didn't expect, certainly last week, because I obviously picked the Bengals in this game. That didn't happen. The Minnesota Vikings destroy the Cincinnati Bengals 48-10. Both teams now 2-1. Jake Browning in for injured Joe Burrow. Jake Browning was browning up every Bengals fan's Turlet Bowl last Sunday with 2 pick sixes. Josh did say last week on the show, I have to give him credit, that Minnesota was the better team. They would show it in this game. Vikings got on the board 2 minutes into the game. Then got an 87-yard pick six to go up 14-0. 17-3 game with 2:12 left in the third when all hell breaks loose. Coming out of the 2-minute warning. 2:12 left in the first half, I'm sorry. Coming out of the 2-minute warning, Browning throws a check down to Noah Fant. Noah Fant fumbles. It's recovered by Isaiah Rodgers, the same guy who returned the pick six earlier. He runs it back for 66 yards. And again, Minnesota touchdown 24-3. 3 plays into Cincinnati's next drive, and Browning's picked off again, setting up Wentz near midfield with 1:21 to go. Wentz then completed 2 passes, a 36-yarder to Justin Jefferson, an 11-yarder to TJ Hawkinson. Jordan Mason, starting in place of Aaron Jones, runs it in from 5 yards out. It's now 31-3 before the half. Surely that would be it for the half. Wrong. Wrong again. Samaje Perine fumbles the kickoff after the touchdown, recovered at Cincinnati's 47-yard line by Minnesota, and Will Reichard would add on a 62-yard field goal for the Vikings. 4 first-half turnovers for the Bengals gave them no chance in this game. 48-10 Vikings in a blowout. Carson Wentz, 14 out of 20 for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jordan Mason, 16 carries for 116 and 2 touchdowns for the Vikings. I'm not sure Aaron Jones gets his job back when he comes off of IR. That could be a fact, folks. Justin Jefferson, 5 catches for 75. TJ Hawkinson, 5 catches for 49 yards and a score. Jake Browning on the other side, 19 out of 27 for 140 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Jamar Chase, 5 catches for 50 yards. He also lost a fumble. The Bengals fumbled 5 times in this game. I believe they lost it twice. Yes. Minnesota, as we just mentioned a couple minutes ago, they will travel to Ireland to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Technically, they'll be the away team in that game, but there is no real away team in those games. Pittsburgh's 2-1, as we mentioned. And Cincinnati will go to Denver for the other Monday Night Football game at 8:15 next Monday night. We continue. The Vegas Raiders, for the second time in 3 weeks, having to travel to the East Coast. They face the Washington Commanders. But there was no Jane Daniels in this game for Washington. No Daniels, no problem. Marcus Mariota did just fine on his own. The Commanders win this game 41-24. The Raiders could not stop the rock in this one, folks. Washington ball carriers had 32 attempts for 201 yards and 3 scores. Although Geno Smith was lights out in this game, it simply did not matter, right? Defense has got to make some plays at some point. 400 yards of offense for the Commanders. And I'm going to keep saying that name that way because I think it's a joke. 400 yards of offense in 28:07 for the Commanders. Geno Smith, 19 out of 29, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, and was sacked 5 times in this game. Ashton Jeanty, his early career struggles continue. Now, there's a car alarm going off in the background. We're having fun, folks. We're having fun. Ashton Jeanty, 16 carries, 63 yards. So far in 3 games, he's had 47 attempts for 144 yards on the young season. That's 3.1 yards per carry. That is not worthy of a first-round pick. Screams Trent Richardson so far. Dave, you might not want to be worried, buddy. Okay. The good news for the Raiders is that Trey Tucker, their third-year wide receiver, appears to be busting out. 8 catches, it might be his second year. 8 catches for 145 yards, 3 scores for him. Marcus Mariota in relief of Jaden Daniels for the Commanders. 15 out of 21 for 207. He threw a touchdown. He also ran for 40 yards and ran in a touchdown. Jeremy McNichols, 4 carries for 78 yards and a 60-yard touchdown run for him. Chris Rodriguez, 11 carries for 39 yards. And Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who supposedly was supposed to be the number one back for the Commanders, especially after Eckler got hurt. Krosky Merritt, just 8 carries for 26 yards, but he did have a score. Terry McLaurin, 3 catches for 74 yards. He injured his quad late in this game and is questionable to play in week 4. Luke McCaffrey, the younger brother of Christian McCaffrey, 3 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. Next up, we've already mentioned Washington will be at Atlanta in the ATL Sunday, 1 o'clock. And the Vegas Raiders will host the Chicago Bears Sunday at 4:25. Thank goodness there is another 4:25 game that is better than that one on Sunday. Okay, here we go. Let's get into some more interesting games, shall we? We have got the defending champion, Philadelphia Eagles, hosting the Rams at 2-0, both teams 2-0. Folks, you can't have 2 field goals get blocked, especially with the second one being returned for a touchdown on the last play of the game to boot. Really thought the Rams had this one for a while. Rams opening up the second half, already up 19-7 in less than a minute into the third. They made it 26-7, cashing in a Jalen Hurts lost fumble deep in Philadelphia territory. Eagles show their championship pedigree by scoring on their next 2 possessions with touchdown passes of 33 yards to Dallas Goedert, 9 yards to A.J. Brown. After making it 26-21, the next possession for both teams ended with a turnover on downs near midfield. Rams line up for a 36-yard field goal with 8:52 to go, but it's blocked by Jalen Carter. Ensuing possession for Philadelphia, they bleed the clock with a 17-play drive. Fourth and goal from the 4, and they have to go with it with 1:55 to play. But not to fear, Jalen Hurts is here. He connects on his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. This one is Devontae Smith. The 2-point attempt does fail. It's 27-26 Philadelphia with 1:48 to go. Stafford and Kyron Williams get the Rams into good field goal range, and they line up for a 44-yarder with 3 seconds to go to win the game. The ball is snapped, and the center whiffs on his block completely somehow. How in the world does that happen? It's blocked again, and 6'6", 336-pound Jordan Davis takes it off and runs it all the way back, walked off, block, kick, return, touchdown. Eagles win 33-27. Folks, good teams find ways to win games. Not as good teams find ways to lose them. Ooh, Nostradamus type stuff there. That comeback in the second half is the kind of stuff we expect to see from a defending Super Bowl champion. Philly, now 3-0. While it hasn't been very pretty, it does not appear that there is a Super Bowl hangover with this team. I don't see it. You shouldn't either. Jalen Hurts, 21 out of 32, 226 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He added 40 yards on the ground, including a tush-push touchdown. I won't even call it a rushing touchdown. It's a tush-push touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 18 carries for just 46 yards. Does not look like the same guy as last year, guys. Keep an eye on that. 4 catches for just 9 yards. This is not that good of an offense, despite the talent that it has. But I still think there's a chance they come out of the NFC. A.J. Brown, 6 catches for 109 yards and a score. Devontae Smith, 8 catches for 60 yards and a score. And Dallas Goedert's only catch in this game is a 33-yard aforementioned touchdown catch. Other side, Matthew Stafford, 19 out of 23, 19 out of 33 for 196 yards, 2 touchdowns and a score. Kyron Williams, 20 carries for 94 yards. He added in a reception touchdown. Puka Nacua, 11 catches for 112 yards on 15 targets. And Devontae Adams, 3 catches for 56 on 8 targets. 23 of 33 Stafford attempts went to Nacua and Adams. I told you we're going to keep track of this all season when Stafford throws to those 2 guys. That is now 64 out of 95 pass attempts for the season for Stafford that have gone to either Puka Nacua or Devontae Adams. That is 67.3%. Stafford's interception was on the game's opening drive, and it set up Philly's lone touchdown of the first half, which was the aforementioned tush-push TD. Philly goes to 3-0. They will travel to Tampa Bay in the battle of undefeateds Sunday at 1 o'clock, while the Rams will host the Indianapolis Colts in what I can only assume is a 4:05 game. I did not put it down for some reason. Okay, We're going to keep moving through these 1 o'clock games, folks. We have one left to go. We are flying through it. It's the Terranadome on the Rapid Fire Rundown. My name is Scott. It's week 3 analysis. Really more recapping than anything, but I throw some analysis in there from time to time. It's the NFL. You got a lot to get to. Bye week starting week 5. That'll help a little bit. The Jets travel to Tampa Bay. Jets sitting at 0-2. Tampa Bay sitting at 2-0. And I thought this one was going to be a blowout, and it was through 3 quarters. Tampa held a commanding 23-6 lead heading into the 4th quarter. I figured, it's the Jets with Tyrod Taylor running for his life out there, and this one's done. Well, not so fast. Tyrod absolutely cooked in the 4th quarter of this game. He went 12 out of 15 for 117 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 to Garrett Wilson, 1 to Allen Lazard, added in 20 rushing yards. He also was bailed out of an interception by a defensive pass interference call. A Chase McLaughlin field goal mixed in between the 2 Tyrod-led touchdown drives made it 26-20 Tampa with 3:40 to play. Tampa drives at 40 yards to the 2-minute warning, lining up for a 43-yard try out of the break, but the Jets blocked this one. More block kicks in one day today than I've seen in 28 years of watching the NFL. The Jets return that for a score. It's tied 26-26. They make the extra point. So it's 27-26 Jets. Baker Mayfield gets the ball back with 1:49 to play and 2 timeouts remaining. Baker makes 2 money throws on that possession. A 28-yarder to Emeka Egbuka and a 20-yarder to Sterling Sharp. Mike Evans had left the game with a hamstring injury at this point. Jets had no timeouts left, so Tampa runs 2 plays up the middle after the Shepard catch. They call timeout with 3 seconds left. This time, Chase McLaughlin's kick is not blocked. The 36-yarder is good, and Tampa escapes 29-27 and moves to 3-0. Good teams find ways to win games. Tampa Bay is legit, folks. Baker Mayfield is completely legit. I told you years ago on the original iteration of this show, the Baker Mayfield was legit. I don't know how to speak at this point, but he's legit. Anyway, Baker goes 19 out of 29, 233 yards, touchdown, and 44 rushing yards on the ground. Bucky Irving only manages to turn 29 touches into 99 total yards. Emeka Egbuka, 6 catches for 85 yards, despite reports that he would be limited throughout the game. He was not. Sterling Shepard, 4 catches for 80 yards, and Mike Evans had 4 catches for 33 yards and a touchdown prior to the hamstring injury. He is at least expected to miss this week against Philadelphia. Not easy. Tyrod Taylor, 26 out of 36 for 197 yards. Again, we mentioned it earlier. The 117 in the 4th quarter means he only had 80 yards through 3 quarters through the air. The 2 passing touchdowns, and he had an earlier interception and a lost fumble. Added 48 on the ground. That interception, by the way, was a pick 6. And the fumble led to a Tampa Bay field goal. Breece Hall, just 9 carries for 21 yards. Braylon Allen, 6 carries for 30. And Garrett Wilson with 10 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown on 13 targets. I didn't list it in my notes here, but I don't have to. Tampa, as we just mentioned, will host Philadelphia. 1 o'clock game on Sunday. That should really be a 4:25 game or a Sunday night game. Both of those teams are 3-0. Jets, on the other hand, will face an 0-3 team at 1 o'clock on Sunday when they travel to Miami. Okay, we're in a late window on Sunday already, folks. We're flying through the rapid fire rundown, and I am here to tell you that this next one is another crap bag game that I won't spend much time on. The Saints are the worst team in football. I told you this was going to happen. They are the worst team in football. They go to Seattle, they get destroyed, 44-13. Seattle improves to 2-1. Saints drop to 0-3. New Orleans already has a minus 43 point differential in 3 games. Yeah. Means they're losing by more than 14 points a game on average. Seahawks roll up 44 points in this game, and they did it with nearly 20 minutes left in regulation. Saints had the lone score of the 4th quarter. It was a Jack Stoll touchdown reception 7 seconds into it. Big D Sam Darnold, baby. He only had to throw it 14 So only had to throw it 18 times. He completed 14, 218 yards and 2 touchdowns for Big D. Kenny Walker, not efficient on the ground, 16 carries for 38 yards, did score twice on the ground. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 5 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. Torrey Horton, 3 catches for 32 and a touchdown. He also returned a punt 95 yards for a touchdown. That's pretty impressive. On the other side for the Saints, Spencer Rattler, 28 out of 39 for 218, a touchdown and a pick. Alvin Kamara, just 18 carries for 42 yards. And the floor is Olave, Chris Olave, 10 catches for 57 yards on 14 targets. Next, Seattle will be at Arizona on Thursday night. Football coming up tomorrow night at 8:15. In New Orleans, they'll travel to Buffalo to get killed by Josh Allen and the Bills on Sunday at 1 o'clock. We continue. We have got next up the Dallas Cowboys, maybe, at the Chicago Bears in a matchup of 1-1. Dallas comes in 1-1. Chicago comes in 0-2. But there is certainly no Big D in Dallas this year, folks. Their defense sucks. It's one of the worst in football so far. CeeDee Lamb was hurt in the first quarter of this game with a nasty-looking high ankle sprain, but of course he mysteriously tried to come back into the game. For one play in the second quarter, he played one snap, shook his head, done for the game. This incensed thousands of FanDuel bettors because it meant that they did not have to void out Lamb's bets. They have a new promotion this year where if a player you bet on gets hurt in the first quarter only, they will void the bets for that player. I wonder if someone was like, hey, CD, I need you to go back out there and fake it for one play. You just never know these days, folks. Anyway, the Dallas defense, or lack thereof, allowed Caleb Williams to have a career day, and the Cowboys are now surrendering 30.7 points per game to the opponent. That is somehow only 6th worst in the league through 3 weeks. 37 last week to the Russell Wilson-led Giants, and now 31 to Caleb Williams and the Bears. They have also allowed the 3rd most total yards on defense and are dead last in passing yards allowed, having ended up 864 in 3 games. Now, granted, we've always known that the Bears offense has a ton of talent. That's fair. Skill position-wise, they have a ton of talent. But Caleb Williams hasn't really been able to put it together consistently before this game, but boy, did he ever today. Also, the Cowboys did not score over the final 38 minutes and 3 seconds of gameplay. Caleb Williams, 19 out of 28 yards for 298 yards and 4 touchdowns, and Dallas could not sack him but once. Dallas has just 3 sacks as a team through 3 weeks. DeAndre Swift, 13 carries for 33 yards and 3 catches for 45. For the Bears, Luther Burden, their rookie receiver, 3 catches for 101 and a touchdown. Rome Odunze, 3 catches for 62 and another touchdown after he had 2 last week. DJ Moore, 4 catches for 21 and a touchdown. Cole Kmet's only catch of the game was a 10-yard touchdown. Other side, Dak Prescott, 31 out of 40 for 251 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions in this one. Javonte Williams, 10 catches, 10 carries for 76 yards. Miles Sanders, 9 carries for 41. Jake Ferguson, a check down merchant, 13 catches for 82 yards. And George Pickens, 5 catches for 68 yards and a score. Next up, Chicago will go to Vegas for a 4:25 game on Sunday, while Dallas will host the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. Okay, more last-second stuff. We've got the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams came into this game 2-0. Now, San Francisco escaped this one with a win. It was a real barn burner of a contest going into the fourth quarter. Game tied 6-6 on 4 field goals through 3 quarters. 49ers punched first with Mac Jones hitting Ricky Pearsall for a 34-yard gain on a drive that started at the Arizona 48. That set up a 1-yard touchdown pass to Kyle Juszczyk to put San Francisco up 13-6. Arizona responds immediately with a 32-yard completion to Murray to Marvin Harrison Jr. Then 2 plays later, another deep shot intended for Harrison in the end zone was called defensive pass interference. That sets up Arizona at the 1-yard line. Kyler Murray hits Trey McBride for the 1 yard score. It's 13-13 with 8:37 to go. Next two drives, Mac Jones is picked on a brutal throw, but Arizona manages to respond going 3 and out. Then Mac Jones gets sacked in the end zone. Arizona safety. It's 15-13 Cardinals with 3:26 to go. Arizona would then force San Francisco to burn their first 2 timeouts, but they ultimately would punt it back to Mac Jones and the 49ers offense with 1:54 to go. And Mac Jones leads a solid 2-minute drill at the end of the day. 5 out of 8 for 59 yards to get San Francisco in position for the game winner. Eddie Pinheiro makes the kick, a 35-yard field goal, and San Francisco escapes 16-15 over the Cardinals. Mac Jones in this game with a pretty good line, 27 out of 41 for 284 yards, touchdown, and an interception. Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey, 17 carries for 52 yards. He had 10 catches for 88. And Ricky Pearsall is turning into a damn good receiver, and no one's paying attention to it. 8 catches for 117 yards for him. Other side, Kyler Murray with a typical Kyler Murray line, 159 yards passing and 1 touchdown and 37 rushing yards. James Conner had 9 carries for 22 yards, then suffered a brutal season-ending ankle injury. His replacement, Trey Benson, went 10 carries for 42 yards in this game. Harrison Jr., 3 catches for 44 yards. Trey McBride, 5 for 43 in a score. Next, San Francisco will host the Jacksonville Jaguars at 4:05 on Sunday. And as we mentioned earlier, the Cardinals will host the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Both of those teams 2-1. Alrighty, folks, 3 games to go. 13 down and 3 to go. We have flown through this one. No, I'm sorry. I'm 12 down, 4 to go. But we're still flying through the rapid fire rundown, folks. Denver at the LA Chargers. 5 games that came down to last second field goals on Sunday, folks. 4 of them were made by Cleveland, Tampa, San Francisco, and the Chargers, as I'm about to mention, and the 1 block by Philly was returned for a touchdown. I seriously have never seen this many block kicks in 1 week. Now, the Broncos could easily be 3-0 in this game, but 2 second field goals have sank them 2 weeks in a row, but they were outplayed in this one. Total yards, Denver 265, Chargers 376, 2 Chargers turnovers, a Herbert interception, and a fumble kickoff return, but it only led to 3 points for Denver. Denver led this one 20-13 thanks to 13 third quarter points after they went up 7 with 12:21 to go. The 2 teams traded punts. That set up the Chargers offense. Herbert, 4 out of 5 for 57 yards and a 20-yard touchdown strike to Keenan Allen. Tie game, 20-20, 2:37 left. In regulation, we continue. Bo Nix with another tough game to start the season. Goes 3 and out. Chargers take over, 1:43 left, and all 3 of their timeouts. Final drive, Herbert, 4 of 4 for 36 yards and a 2-yard sneak on 3rd and 1 to essentially cement the game. Broncos use all 3 of their timeouts on the drive. Aggressive play calling works for the Chargers. 5 seconds left. Cameron Dicker, the kicker, connects from 43 yards out. The Chargers eke it out, 23-20. They now look like one of the best teams in the league, and they are 3-0. And all 3 of those wins, folks, have been over divisional opponents. That is very important, especially early in the season. Justin Herbert is starting to get some MVP clout. I don't think he'll win it, but he's going to be in the conversation, at least early on. 28 out of 47 for 300 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. They did sack him 5 times. Omarion Hampton, the rookie running back, 19 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. He added 6 catches for 59 yards. Najee Harris, who was once splitting the backfield, albeit briefly with Hampton. He left this game very early with an Achilles tear. He is done for the season, and his career is in jeopardy at this point. Chargers receivers, Quentin Johnston, the 3rd-year breakout continues. 6 catches for 89 yards. Keenan Allen continues to be back from the dead. 7 catches for 65 and a score. And Ladd McConkey, 4 catches for 41 yards. For Ladd. Flip side, Bo Nix just 14 out of 25 for 153 yards and a touchdown. He did run for 33 yards. He was sacked twice. J.K. Dobbins, 11 carries for 83 yards and a touchdown. And Cortland Sutton, big game for Sutton in the loss. 6 catches, 118 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown was a 52-yarder. Next up, as we've mentioned, the Chargers will travel to the 0-3 Giants. The 0-3 Giants is what we're about to talk about. That'll be a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Denver will host the Cincinnati Bengals in the 2nd Monday Night Football game this next week. That is an 8:15 kickoff. 13 down, 3 to go, folks. Sunday Night Football, crap bag game. Kansas City 22 at the Giants 9. The seat is on fire for Giants head coach Brian Daboll right now. He knows it. They've already announced that they are switching to their rookie first round pick, Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart and the Darty Party is about to start in week 4 in the NFL, folks. Good luck to you, kid. This is a crap bag game. 6-6 at halftime. Chiefs did what veteran teams do and scored 16 points in the second half, only allowing the Giants to score 3. Russell Wilson was so bad a week after that 450-yard performance that he's lost his job. 18 out of 32 for 160 yards and 2 interceptions for Wilson. Cam Scattaboo, their rookie fourth-round pick, just won the job with this one. Tyrone Tracy gets hurt. Scattaboo seizes the opportunity. 8 carries for 60 yards. Added 6 catches for 60 yards as well. Other side, Patrick Mahomes, 22 out of 37. 224 yards and a touchdown to Tyquan Thornton. Yeah, Patriots fans know, we all remember that name. 2 fumbles, but none lost. For Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, 10 carries for 45 yards. Kareem Hunt, 10 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. And Thornton, as we mentioned, 5 catches for 71 yards for Thornton and a touchdown on 9 targets. He is the Chiefs' leading receiver through 3 weeks. Travis Kelce is cooked. 4 catches for 26 yards. Next, Kansas City will host Baltimore. Both teams are 1-2, which means hard to believe, but either Kansas City or Baltimore is going to be 1-3 after week 4. That game is on at 4:25 on Sunday, and we already mentioned the Giants will host the Chargers at 1 o'clock. On Sunday, 1 left to go, folks. We've made it to the end of the Week 3 Rapid Fire Rundown, and this is the Detroit Lions going into Baltimore and upsetting the Baltimore Ravens, folks. They win this one 38-30. A great back-and-forth battle here. It was 14-14 at the half. Baltimore took a 21-14 lead just over 6 minutes into the third quarter. The Lions would tie the game 3.5 minutes later on an Amon-Ra St. Brown 18-yard touchdown grab, 21-21. 5:13 left in the third quarter. Lions would then go ahead 28-21 as soon as the fourth quarter started on a Jahmyr Gibbs 4-yard touchdown catch. It's a 4-yard touchdown run. And the teams would proceed to trade field goals. But David Montgomery would ice it for the Lions with 1:42 to go on a 31-yard touchdown run. The Lions were ahead 38-24 with 1:42 to go. Baltimore would add a 29-yard touchdown from Jackson to Mark Andrews to make it look closer than it was at the end. Detroit wins it 38-30. The Lions, 426 total yards, 7 out of 14 on third downs, and 3 of 3 on fourth downs. Ravens now have the best scoring offense in the league at 37 points per game, and the second worst scoring defense, allowing 32 points per game. Jared Goff, 20 out of 28 for 202 yards and 2 touchdowns in this one. David Midnight in Montgomery, he's always singing there. 12 carries, 151 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns for David Midnight in Montgomery. Great Alan Jackson song from the early 90s about Hank Williams Sr. Jahmyr Gibbs, 22 carries for 67 yards, but did score twice on the ground. He added 5 catches for 32 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown, and a questionable hot mic moment. Lamar Jackson played like an MVP in this one. His defense just couldn't stop a nosebleed. 21 out of 28 for Jackson, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns and 35 yards on the ground. Derrick Henry, only 12 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. Mark Andrews with a throwback game, 6 catches for 92 yards and 2 scores for him. And Rashad Master Bateman, I said it, it's too late. I'm not taking it back. 5 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown for him. We have already mentioned that Baltimore will be at Kansas City at 4:25 on Sunday, and Detroit will face Cleveland, a 1-2 team, Sunday at 1 o'clock. So, folks, that's it for week 3. And after 3 weeks of the NFL season, we only have 6 undefeated teams left. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Buffalo Bills, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, San Francisco 49ers, and surprise, surprise, the Indianapolis Colts. Folks, my name is Scott Terrana. Tell somebody you love them today because tomorrow is not promised, and I promise you I know this to be true. Tell somebody you love them today. Tomorrow is not promised. Tell your people that you love them and you appreciate them, folks. I certainly appreciate all of you. Josh Morris is back on the show next week. Please hit that like, subscribe, and please share the hell out of this thing. Anybody you know that likes football, Send this thing to them, folks. We have a lot of fun on the show. It's the Terranadome. My name is Scott Terrana. We'll be back with you next Wednesday. I hope everybody has a great week. I hope everybody has a successful Thursday, Sunday, and Monday of football. Everybody take care. Be good to one another. Peace.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. And say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. In Joe Hendry.